Okay, so I'm gonna freak you guys out again with my straight hair. Um, I'm just making a video quick because I was just reading a post by a friend of mine, and it got me thinking because she was basically talking about how she eats very, very little. She, has eating disordered eating habits, and no one is saying anything. On a regular basis, all the people that are with her don't ever speak up. They don't ever call her out. They don't ever say that what she is doing is strange or weird or bad or unhealthy. They don't remark on it at all. And so the eating disorder voice in her head is saying, well, if nobody's saying anything about the way I'm eating, then I must be fine. I'm okay. What I'm doing is normal. Um, and obviously, I was telling her that just because they don't say anything doesn't mean that she doesn't have a problem. And it doesn't mean that what she is doing is okay in any way. And basically, I just wanted to make this video to tell everybody else what I was telling her because I have a feeling that there are a lot of people out there that are in a similar situation where they are not necessarily hoping that someone says something, because we all know that that can be just as uncomfortable as when people say nothing. But they're sort of taking in the fact that people are not commenting on their lack of eating. And it's sort of reiterating to them, well, I must not have a problem. Well, I must be okay. Well, I must not be too thin. Things like that. So I just want to be the person to tell you it's not okay. What you're doing is not okay. And simply because people aren't saying anything, it doesn't mean that it's okay. Now, a couple of reasons that they might be saying nothing could be that they they just don't know what to say. Another reason could be that you're the first person that they have seen eating this way, or not eating in this way, and they just don't know how to deal with it. They don't know if it would be helpful to say anything, so they don't want to do the wrong thing. Another reason could be that they're just so self-absorbed that they don't notice. It doesn't mean that they think what you're doing is fine and normal. It just means that they're too wrapped up in their own lives to make a good observation on what you're doing. So it doesn't mean that it's acceptable what you're doing. It doesn't mean that it's just regular run-of-the-mill things that people do. And you really need to remember that, because it really sort of breaks my heart that there are people out there thinking that eating, an eighth of what a normal person eats in a day is still too much or is sufficient because no one is opening their mouths and saying anything to them. And again, I know that a lot of people don't necessarily want anyone to say something to them, but they still keep thinking, well, if no one is saying anything, I must be doing just fine. And I know how that voice is, because I used to have a voice like that. I used to sit around and, eat next to nothing and have people not comment on it for a long, long time. And I hated it. And I also have been in the position where I didn't eat anything and people eventually did say something. And you know what? I hated that too. So it's a no-win situation. It's a lose-lose situation. People say something, you're not going to like it probably. People don't say anything, you're not going to like it. You're going to be having that eating disorder voice just run rampant inside of you. So I just want to be the person that says, what you're doing it's not okay. It's scary. It concerns me. And I wish that you would have a pep talk with yourself and tell yourself that it's not a good idea. And just because people aren't commenting on it doesn't make it right. It doesn't mean that you're doing something that should continue. And this can only continue for so long. It can continue a long, long time. I know that. I know that there are a lot of people who have had an eating disorder for a very long time. They don't eat enough for a very long time, and they just sort of consider it their normal life now. They're so used to it, and they figure they can go on forever like that. But unfortunately, that's not true. I mean, there does come a point where you're just going to crash and burn. If you continue to live the way that you're living and, eating the way that you're eating, there are consequences. And I would hate for anyone out there to suffer health consequences, to have health concerns for the rest of their life simply because of their eating disorder. Or, I just know how much better you can feel mentally, how much better the mind feels when you're getting the proper nutrition. And I know that this sounds like, completely cheesy, and you hear how many people say this: therapists, nutritionists, teachers, parents, so many people are telling you that, your brain is going to work better with the proper nutrition, but it's really true because I've been there. I've been anorexic. I had anorexia for years, and I know what it's like. And I know that when I became healthier and healthier and I gained weight and I was eating, quote unquote, normally, it really, really did improve my memory. It really did improve my focus. It really did improve my mood. It's amazing what eating a little bit more can do. It's amazing what having the proper eating habits can do. And I just want to tell you that, me here being the voice of reason, I want to tell you that you can do this and recovery is possible. And, it's something that is possible for you. It's not necessarily possible for everybody but you. You're one of those people that it's possible for. So don't forget that. And don't wait for other people to say something about your eating habits in order to reiterate the fact that you might have an eating disorder. Don't wait for that to happen because it might never happen. If you're going to wait on other people, you're going to be waiting a long time because people sometimes don't speak up. And when they do speak up, they don't always say the right thing. So take that with you today, guys.